Hello everybody, this is Dave and welcome back to another Football Manager 2018 experiment here on my YouTube channel today. Today we've got another Wolves based one. We're going with Rui Patricio, the man who has been linked for the last few weeks. And we're hoping that it may well be pushed over the line a lot sooner than we think. He's going to be in action for Portugal over the World Cup period. But we are hoping sort of before the end of the tournament we do have him announced. Anyway, lots going on with him, with all the sort of legal side of things, with sporting. If you do want to find out more about what's actually going on, you can go and check out my other channel, Talking Wolves. I'll try and remember to put a link to it in the description. We did a video all about what was going on. But today we are on Football Manager, and if you've not seen any of these videos before, you're not familiar with Football Manager, all the stats are rated out of 20. So all the sort of bright green ones are very good stats. And as you can see, we've chucked Patricio in at Wolves at the end of the 2017-18 season. So sort of which stage we're at the moment in real life. And obviously we're going to go on to the Premier League season. As you can see, plenty of really good stats, 6'3" as well. But his attributes, aerial reach, communication, handling, all 16 out of 20, along with leadership and positioning. Same with his natural fitness, jumping, reach and balance. One-on-one 17, reflexes 17. So for a keeper, he's really, really solid on this game. We've given him a 4-year contract, and as you can see, his starting value is 21.5 million. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see how he gets on with Wolves, with obviously all the other Portuguese influence, with Nuno. We did one obviously with Raul Jimenez. You can also check that one out. Wolves didn't do maybe as well as we would have hoped, but Jimenez is in this squad as well, along obviously with Patricio. Let's skip forward to the end of the first season and see how Wolves get on. So then here we are, end of season 1. Time to have a quick look at Rui Patricio. He's still at Wolves. Value is shot up, and his stats are really, really good, to be honest. 23 goals conceded, 14 clean sheets in his 31 Premier League games. 7.25 average rating, really, really decent. 5 out of the matches as well for him. As you can see, his stats, his attributes remaining fairly intact, but it's a really solid debut season for him. Just 23 goals conceded. Wolves finishing in a very respectable 8th place as well. As you can see, Patricio is classed as the key player and Nuno as the manager. So Wolves obviously did well. Let's see who they brought in first. They spent 39 million, brought in 29 million straight away. They cashed in on Ruben Neves. Just a little bit disappointing to Arsenal again, as we saw in real life. Fosuai, Onyange, all the sort of deadwood shipped out as well. But Wolves brought in quite a number of players. Pontus Janssen came in from Leeds. Musa Dembele, which is quite a nice signing. Matty James, Ruben Duarte, Alvaro Garcia, Mbaba, Novaes. A few guys coming in, Jan Kirchhoff on a free, Valverde and Rob Holding in on loan as well. But the senior squad, and obviously media predicted 16th, but Patricio's influence almost got Wolves a European spot, but missing out just by 1 point. Patricio got the highest average rating as well throughout the campaign. Top goal scorer Jota with just 8 goals, which is a little bit disappointing. But Wolves knocked out in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup and knocked out in the 3rd round of the FA Cup by Chelsea. But Patricio is the man we're focusing on, and obviously his only sort of main competitor was John Ruddy, who did pick up 7 games. He actually came off the bench 5 times, which is a bit strange. So I'm not sure if Patricio got injured. John Ruddy did keep 5 clean sheets as well. Let's have a quick look. It's a little bit weird that we've had to see Patricio subbed off there, injury-wise. Hey, to be fair, he's had to be subbed off a few times, which is a little bit strange. He's got injured for 6 weeks there. All the rest were quite minor, but a lot of the time sprained his knee ligaments, pulled his hamstring, gashed head, bruised foot. So not very often you see that, especially on a Football Manager with the goalkeepers being injured. So John really did get a little spell. Maybe those games where Patricio was missing cost Wolves a little bit, but really, really solid start to his first campaign as Wolves #1. Let's get forward another year. Hopefully Wolves can build on that. Let's hope that Patricio can build on his on his first season with a strong second season. 31 years of age, really sort of to go towards his prime goalkeeping years now. Let's see how we can get on. So, end of the 19-20 season, and another look at Mr. Rui Patricio. Patricio now still at Wolves, which is nice, 32 years of age. Now, value has shot down a little bit, mainly possibly because of age, but his season this year, nowhere near as strong as last term. 35 appearances, so he only missed 3 games, 44 conceded. Still got 11 clean sheets. Average rating of 6.8 for us is obviously a little bit lower than last season. We can compare it here. Conceding almost double the amount of goals that he did last season in just 4 more games. And his average rating a lot smaller. Did get 4 man of the matches though. And 11 clean sheets, which was just 3 less than last season. But obviously Wolves may well not have done it as well, I'd assume. Go over to them now. As you can see, Nuno is no longer boss. Wolves finishing 16th in the Premier League. Wolves spending another 50 million this year. Baba Rahman, El Yunusi, which is quite a smart signing from Basel. Victor Moses, so another player from Chelsea. A few others. Fellaini coming in as well on a free. Valverde again on loan, who's a sort of central midfielder, having 2 years at Wolves now. Players that left, no one too big. Doherty, Sace being the main guys. But Danny Bart as well. Connor Cody out on loan. A little bit disappointing for Wolves. A quick look at their competitions. Predicted 8th this year and not brilliant for the Moussam Dembele finishing top goal scorer. El Yunusi there. Wolves didn't really get anywhere in the cup competitions either, but they'll be pretty disappointed with that. A minus 19 goal difference. Obviously, Brendan Rodgers in charge now. Patricio, obviously Ruddy, again, coming on off the bench 3 times. Ruddy just didn't have a good time at all, conceding 11 goals. But Patricio, I would imagine he's got another couple of injuries. Just the main one there, 4 weeks out, the twisted ankle. But he did have to come on quite a few times, really. So it's a little bit strange. Obviously, we'll have a look at what happened with Nuno. He was sacked. 38% win ratio from the start of the experiment. Gavin McCann came in for a little while as caretaker manager. And Brendan Rodgers has done okay since coming in. Let's have a quick look at what happened with Nuno, who was sacked on the 8th of December. We'll have a real quick look before we move on. 8th of December for Wolves. So Wolves just snuck into sort of the relegation zone. To be fair, they were in the relegation zone a long time. So Nuno really didn't start off the season too well. And sort of Brendan Rodgers went and saved them, to be honest. Just about staying up. A pretty disappointing season by Wolves standards. They'll be hoping to build on that. Patricio, though, still getting the most man of the matches, saving Wolves maybe from relegation this season. Hopefully, of course, they can build on that a lot more. Going to be looking to the likes of El Yunusi, a really strong player on this game. Good signing that from Wolves. We'll skip forward another year, though. Hopefully, as we say, Wolves can build on that. So then the end of the 2020-2021 season, and time to look at Rui Patricio again. 3rd year at Wolves, still at Wolves, value going down a little bit now. Still potentially not as strong as his first season. His debut season was exceptional, but 36 games, so again, just missing 2 matches. 47 conceded, 10 clean sheets, 6.81 average rating. It's a slightly better average rating than last season, despite him conceding 3 more goals and getting 1 less clean sheet and 1 less man of the match. Probably, on paper, probably his worst season. His average rating actually did go down as well, so it is his worst season since coming in at Wolves. A little bit disappointing, but I suppose, you know, as a goalkeeper, you never know what's going to happen, really. Wolves finishing 12th, slightly better season. Brendan Rodgers still in charge as well. Keep playing out for Wolves. Fred, pretty decent signings. Who else did they bring in? Obviously, Patricio's still the number 1, but bought Fred in from United, not bad. Ryan Sessegnon from Fulham. Lemos from Las Palmas as well. Rafa from Benfica. So good players, selling quite a big chunk of players as well. A couple of the boys that were signed, have gone. Cavallero going for just pennies, really, just £1 million. Competition-wise this year, Wolves again knocked out in both cup competitions, finishing 12th. Bang on sort of mid-table performance, to be honest. But yeah, it's just one of them. Wolves probably not as strong as they would have wanted. John Ruddy is still number 2 to Patricio. John Ruddy coming off the bench again twice. Really strange that is happening. Injuries again. To be fair, got a couple of injuries. 2 concussions in quick concession, which is a little bit worrying, but we'll have to keep an eye on that one. But not as strong, as we say. We can look at some of his sort of stats, in-depth stats as well. Shots faced, shots saved. He's got a decent ratio of shot saves, to be honest. But yeah, it's one of them. So, Patricio, 3rd season, his worst season, slightly anyway. Coming in now towards sort of his later years as a keeper. Can we see a couple more good years from him? And can we see Wolves push up the table a little bit more? So then here we are at the end of the 2021-22 season. And as we can see straight off the bat, Brendan Rodgers insecure at Wolves. Hopefully that doesn't mean they've gone down, but Rui Patricio is still at Wolves, still the goalkeeper. Stats starting to go down slightly, as we can see. Some of the 16s that we saw previously aren't quite there. And playing a lot less games this year. Just 13 appearances, 21 conceded, 4 clean sheets. Average rating the worst that we've seen since him joining Wolves. So it looks like he may no longer be #1 at Wolverhampton Wanderers. A little bit disappointing. He's wanted as well by Everton. So, obviously, another Premier League side, I'd imagine. Yeah, Tony Pulis wants him. And Wolves now have him set as rotation. Interesting indeed that. So, Patricio still the captain at Wolves. El Yunusi, the key player and vice-captain, still Wolves. Who did they bring in then? Let's see. Ben Davies, Valverde came in finally on a deal. Sam Johnston came in from Villa. Maybe that was the man who was #1 this year. Liam Kelly, Will Hughes as well. Players out. Benik Afobe finally went and left. Mauricio Lemos, Narlenis as well. Right then, let's have a look. Sam Johnston, was he #1? He certainly was. Not the best of seasons for him either, but still quite a young goal in terms of goalkeeper, still quite young. Wanted by Spurs as well. Very, very interesting indeed for him to come in and pip Patricio to the #1 spot. Wolves finishing in 13th, very similar season to last term. Patricio obviously still captain, but it'll be interesting to see if he's got any more years in him. No real brilliant performances again. Wolves almost identical points as well. Tactic-wise, I mean, Wolves are playing a 4-2-3-1. It's quite an attacking formation in terms, so maybe the defence aren't getting as much, it's giving the keeper much support, obviously with Babarahman and Moses, both quite attacking fullbacks. But yeah, Patricio probably not as many games as he would have wanted to. No games in the FA Cup either. So, is his time at Wolves up? Is he going to be a Wolves player next season? We'll give it one more year. That will be 5 years then, and hopefully we see him again in a Wolves shirt. So here we are then at the end of the experiment. And time to see Rui Patricio. Is he still at Wolves? He certainly is. And this season, again, not starting as many games. Average rating sticking in and around the same. But I think now his time is probably up. His value has dropped below 1 million now. Still got another year on his contract, to be fair. But his time at Wolves in-game hasn't been particularly fantastic. His first season was phenomenal, to be honest, for a goalkeeper to concede that little amount of goals. And Wolves came so close to that European spot, how different it may well have been without those injuries for him. 8 games this season, 13 conceded. He got another 2 clean sheets, which isn't too bad, a 6.84 average rating. So actually second best average rating-wise this season, or in this game, rather. So Wolves as a whole, they've got rid of Brendan Rodgers, got Emmanuel Giaccherini, the player. Plays for Napoli, I think. Maybe he's moved to Kiev, I'm not too sure. Very, very interested. Decent manager, obviously, first job, or second job, rather. Sheffield Wednesday, who he may well have done pretty decent at. So, we've got Giaccherini in charge. Now, let's see who brought in. 62 million spend. James Maddison, Rob Holding, Lanzini. A couple of decent players there from Wolves, Ryan Brewster as well. Brought in almost £30 million worth of players. Valverde left straight away. Pontus Janssen made a massive loss on him. Ryan Sessegnon as well. So plenty of players went out. Competition-wise, Wolves no better in the cup competitions. No hope in the silverware. And again, Wolves bang on mid-table. Starting to become that sort of poor sort of team that just don't seem to achieve much. They were media predicted 10th as well. But they're staying very well clear of any sort of trouble. But they're not breaking into sort of that European spot. Patricio, though, no longer captain. As you can see, Mohamed El Yunusi has been a star man, really, for Wolves. He's been a really, really good player, as you can see. Very classy winger. But we'll see if Patricio maybe has gone on to any of the overviews here of the Wolves. Rui Patricio holds the record for the most Wolves clean sheets, which we'd expect. Let's have a look. Can we go in general? So, Patricio, he's on the favoured personnel, which is good. Icons, is there anyone that is sort of broken onto there? No. El Yunusi's classed as a Wolves legend for some particular reason, which is a bit weird, but it would have been interesting to see if Patricio made his way onto the Icons or Legend stage at any point. But he's had a decent Wolves stint. Probably would have hoped for slightly better, maybe, but he's been there. Maybe expected him to jump ship a little bit earlier as well. But that first season, if anything's to go by, if he can perform like that in real life, I think every Wolves fan will be very, very impressed. But there we go. Rui Patricio Wolves Football Manager experiment done. If you did enjoy it today, make sure you hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know if you're excited for the prospect of Rui coming in to the Molineux. Until next time, though, guys, I'm sure I'll see you all very soon. If you've got any other Wolves related experiments you want to see, let me know. And until next time. I'll see you all soon.